Boys and girls, today we are looking at representing, which means to show, and interpreting, meaning make it so I can understand, data, which is just information. Our standard is to organize, represent, and interpret data with up to 3 categories. Ask and answer questions about the total number of data points, how many in each category, and how many more or less in one category than another. So there's 3 things we need to be able to do. Okay, boys and girls, we're looking at interpreting data today, and we're looking at Mr. Brown's class and his students. So it says, Mr. Brown asked his students to name their favorite sport. He recorded their answers on the graph below. On the left, you see the sports are baseball, football, and basketball. And on the right are students' responses represented by stars. If you look down at the key, it says 1 star equals 1 student. So for baseball, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars. For football, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. For basketball, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basketball had the most stars. The first question, how many students like basketball? Well, we have to count the number of stars on the row where it says basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 students. So I wrote 9 on number 1. Number 2, how many students took the survey in all? In order to find this answer, I have to count the number of stars for baseball, football, and basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I wrote 21 on this line for number 2. Number 3, how many more students like basketball than football? Well, this question tells me there's going to be more students that like basketball than like football. So I'm going to go back and count the number of stars for basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And count the number of stars for football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to subtract 9 for basketball minus 5 for football gives me a difference of 4. So I'm writing the number 4 for question number 3. How many more students like baseball than football? Question number 4. So this tells me that more people like baseball than like football. Count the stars for baseball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And football is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to subtract 7 minus 5 to give me a difference of 2. So I wrote 2 for number 4. Boys and girls, today we're looking at interpreting data. So the graph has already been created for us. We just have to answer questions about the data that is in the graph. So this says, Mr. Brown asked his students to name their favorite sport. He recorded their answers on the graph below. So here you see the sports are baseball, football, and basketball, and the student responses are with stars. So 1 star equals 1 student. If you count the stars, that will tell you how many people
said that that sport was their favorite. So for baseball, I can count the stars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and see that 7 people liked baseball. For football, I count the stars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and see that 5 like football, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 liked basketball. So basketball was the most liked sport. Here the first question says, how many students like basketball? Well, I can answer that question because I've already counted the stars and tell them 9 or write 9 on the blank because that's how many students said their favorite sport was basketball. How many students took this survey in all? Well, in order to figure out that answer, I have to count all the stars together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 students took the survey. So that number 21 is what I would write on number 2. Number 3, how many more students like basketball than football? Well, we said earlier that there are more students that like basketball, and I remember there were 9 stars here. So I'm going to subtract 9 and the number that like football, which is 5. So 9 minus 5 equals 4. So I would write 4 on the line here. Last question. How many more students like baseball than football? Let's go back here and count our baseball again because I forgot how many we said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I remember football is 5. So I would subtract 7 minus 5 is 2. So I would write 2 on this line for number 4.